can all see chapter 3 here, tools of the trade, massage tables, table accessories, linens, lubricants, essential oils, and the treatment room. We're not going to talk about what consists of tools of the trade, but we will be discussing massage tables and chairs and really the atmosphere and also lubricants that you use. All of you are getting a portable table. They are on order. They should be coming in. Hold on. Nope, I don't know yet, but they should be coming in soon. Probably in about a week. And you will probably use this portable table for the rest of your life. I've definitely used mine for the rest of my life, although right now I think it's a laundry table at my house, but they're fantastic for that too. Anyway, they're really nice to have around in your home. The tables you're getting support 500 pounds, so they can hold pretty much any human being on that table. They're really quite sturdy. They weigh about 30-ish pounds. And out call for most massage therapists is part of their business. Massage therapy is different in that many therapists work at multiple locations, so to speak. I don't mean multiple like Massage MDs or Elements or something. They only work at one of those because they've got non-compete clauses and such. And that's the way it probably should be. But I meant they'll work at like, an Elements, and then they'll have out-call clients too. So, and that can be very nice for lots of reasons. For one thing, it divides your revenue stream, by the way, so that you're not completely reliant on your clients, you're not completely reliant on an outlet, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, my point about all this just is that you probably are going to be using your portable massage table, or just setting up in a room in your house, if you've got one, and having people come over there for massage too. I charge about twice as much to do out-call as I do in-call because it's about twice as hard. It's not, I shouldn't say it's twice as hard, it's twice as time consuming. So a 1 hour out-call, I always say, takes 2 hours, at least. By the time you drive there, get your table out, set the table up, do the massage, break the table down, get back. So I charge accordingly for that kind of stuff. Anyway. When you guys open up your portable tables, just make sure they're fully open. And what I mean by that is they have guidelines underneath them that make them as strong as they are. And those things need to be not kinked and fully opened up. That's what if you have a kink in them or something, then they're not fully opened up. That can actually make them very weak. But besides that, they're super strong. Also make sure they have little screws on the side that let you adjust the height of the table. Make sure those are fully tightened. Find a height that works for you. These are not hydraulic tables. They don't make portable hydraulic tables like we have here at school. But make sure that once you set the height, you lock those screws in pretty tightly so that they don't wobble on you. Because all those things make a really good table quite weak, actually. If anybody wants to buy a hydraulic table, the tables that we have here at the school are $2,500 a piece, and you can buy them online. But you're not going to ever move them. They're a heavy lift. But it's glorious having hydraulic tables. There are all sorts of. I'm not going to tell you about reputable manufacturers of tables. That would be kind of putting my own opinion on it. So like that, there's really a lot of good tables out there. You should just look around if you're going to buy another one or something. The reason you might want to buy another one is I know myself at one time I had 3. And I had one set up on my house to do massage, and I had another one in the back of my car at all times. And when you're a new therapist, I know we'd love it if people called us 2 weeks in advance and they told us like, I want a massage 2 weeks from now at 8 a.m. on a Monday morning, but that's not what they do. They call you on a Friday afternoon and say, hey, can you come over in an hour? And when you are a fully booked massage therapist, you can say, I'm sorry, I'm full. You got to book 2 weeks out, and you can afford to say that. when you're a new massage therapist, in my opinion, you can't afford to say that. And it's just a practicality of economics. And I would have sheets and oils back there at all times, and it was so much easier than having to go home and get that stuff, where I could be like, nope, I'll come on over right now. And that's how I started in the business. Once I got busy, I didn't have to do that anymore. But so sometimes it's nice to have one in the back of your car. Yes, Miss Hendrickson, please.
I read in the chapter that the fabric can get damaged if it's exposed to heat or too much. So is that like not good in Arizona to leave it in your car?
It's not good. It will damage it over time. But to me, it was worth it. And by the way, I mean, even with the heat in Arizona, I mean, I think I got 10 years out of that table. It didn't like eat it alive.
Right, that's what I was worried about.
Yeah, it wasn't like one summer. You know what I mean? It's true, but it's not like anything like that. Yeah, I think you're safe with that. Miss Everson, yes.
What oils were you using to just keep in your car then?
Oh, you're right. Now the oils do go bad. You are yeah. And it doesn't matter what oils you have. Oils don't, forget about the table. Oils don't like heat. But what you do is, you can carry a 4-ounce bottle of oil and you can do a couple massages with that.
Oh, okay.
Right? And then even if it spoils, it's 4 ounces of oil is nothing. I mean, it might be $1, maybe. So, yeah. But you're right. They do go bad. They'll spoil in a day or two in the car. Yeah, if it's really hot. Yeah. Just make sure I have any other questions. Okay. So table width. Tables are usually 28 to 32 inches. Most are 30 to 31. If you're buying a table, get the widest table you can get because people's arms always flop off them. And we'll talk about like the ethics of this, all that kind of stuff, but I often have one leg up on a table too. Because I'm doing some type of leverage or something. So I'm using the side of the table myself sometimes. And so in my opinion, wider tables are better. I want them as wide as possible. Mr. Overman, yes?
You brought up arms, so I thought this would be a good time to ask. Where do you put your arms when you're getting a massage? That was really awkward for me yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. Where do your arms feel comfortable, by the way? I'm just curious.
I feel like on the side, but then I feel like they're always in the way.
Do you mean hanging over the side?
No, like at my side.
Oh, yeah.
But then I feel like they're in the way.
That's where most massage therapists want them. The answer is, by the way, your massage therapist should move your arms.
Okay.
I like mine flopped over the side of the table, and I always feel bad about that too, because then they can brush by my arm. But if they don't like it, they move it up and put it back there. Yeah. I agree with you. When they're at the person's side, then they kind of get in the way of draping. So for me, a lot of times, if you have them at your side, I take them off the table for a second and then drape you and then put them back up there. If I'm draping your legs or something. But anyway, there's no right or wrong. The only wrong is that if the therapist moves your arm, you're supposed to kind of let them, as long as it doesn't hurt, so that they can put them where they need to put them. And when I move people's arms in massage, I do it very purposefully so they know, like, I'm not just suggesting them, like, I need you to put your arm here. Boom. That kind of stuff. But yeah. But don't feel bad. It's very nice that you are so considerate. You're thinking about people working on you. But it's actually their job to avoid your arms. Right? So that's just a way to look at it.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, guys, I should tell you this, although you'll probably figure it out. But sometimes I underline stuff in my slideshow. I do that for two reasons. Sometimes it's something I think is really important, or sometimes I think it's something that you're going to get asked in the test that night online. And I think it's obscure, and I don't want you to have to look it up in the book, and so I underline it. Like this thing about the thickness of a massage table's foam. I don't think that's something you need to memorize or is going to change your life as a massage therapist, but I know that they're going to ask you it on the test online, and that drives me nuts. So sometimes I'm just rewarding you for paying attention to my lecture with like, hey, might want to write that down because there's going to be a question on that, right? I'm literally doing what they tell you not to do, which is teach to the test. But there is a method to my madness. Yes, Ms. Osuna.
I just have a quick question about this section, actually. Is it possible for you to send us out the lecture, like the slides, or do you prefer not?
No, you're not the first. Many people have asked this. The slides are not, in a way, not owned by us. Like they're owned by the people that make the textbooks. Now I've modified them. Obviously, I underline stuff and things like that. But so I can't send them out. Not the slides. You can watch this lecture. Like I am taping it right now as we speak. Don't worry, it's not taping any of you guys. Although it will have your voice, but it doesn't have your faces. But I am taping this slideshow, and it will be on today's lecture if you wanted to watch it again. And it would have these slides in it, but I know that's not very convenient. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks for nothing, huh? Yeah, most tables are 31 inches. Da, 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 da. Tables are adjustable. That's not really important. That's not really important too. It is good if you can get high density padding on your table. High density padding tends to not give as much, and you would think you'd want a really plush table, but you want it to have some firmness, right? And you want it to retain its shape. And so high density padding tends to do that. This is if you're selecting the table of your dreams. Nobody uses terms like loft, which is the thickness of the padding and such, but your book thinks it's important. But I disagree. Most tables avoid using PVCs, polyvinyl chlorides. It's supposed to be bad for the environment. You don't even have to worry about that because I don't remember the last table I saw that used that kind of stuff. Okay. If you guys, I know you're bringing your own sheets to lab. If any of you guys want the type of sheets we have here, I could care less, by the way. But if you want the type of sheets we have here, a lot of times we go through Massage Warehouse for our linens and such, for anything massage related. Massage Warehouse, by the way, is not a high-end massage place, although it does have some high-end stuff. We go there because they're cheap. Although a set of sheets like you guys saw at our labs, a fitted bottom sheet, a top sheet of these flannel type, and the face cradle cover, that alone I think is $25. But for one set. But anyway, if you wanted something, you're like, I really like the fitted sheet thing, and they've got them all sorts of colors, things like that. Massage Warehouse is a good place to look for massagey type stuff. Again, though, for our purposes, you can keep bringing your bed sheets. That's completely fine. But do start bringing your bed sheets, by the way, please, because we have to pay every time you use our sheets to clean them. Your book and I strongly recommend using chlorine bleach when you wash your sheets. It is very hard on your sheets, and you will eventually wear them out. But your oil is very hard on your sheets too. And chlorine kills just about every type of thing that you could possibly have on your sheets. It's a really, really good bacterial destroyer, really. And so we highly recommend using chlorine bleach and hot water. Yeah, Miss Clayton, please.
Assuming the sheets are white.
Thank you. Sorry, Miss Clayton. She's right.
So we have at our spa we have fitted sheets that are green. They were green. And then we moved to brown. They were brown, but now they're all tie dye.
Yes, I believe that. And when I've worked at a spa too, like we would get these beautiful sheets in, and even if you didn't use chlorine bleach, right, they start to fade, and they don't fade evenly. And I think I'm of the thing that what you really should do is buy lots of cheap white sheets, wash the heck out of them, and when they get old, you get rid of them. Instead of buying high-end sheets. I don't know, because I just don't feel like we're so hard on them anyway. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, well, we use a linen service for our white ones, but for the fitted ones, they don't supply those. So, anyway, we just get our own. But I've always purchased colored ones. I might move to getting white ones if I can find those. But yeah, then maybe I'll do that because they put bleach in there and they're all ruined. So anyway.
Yeah, no. I really appreciate you speaking up because you know firsthand a lot of this stuff. Thank you. Miss Hendrickson. Yeah, comment.
There's another product that you can use instead of bleach that's like it's a disinfectant for laundry. I don't remember what the brand is, but there is something like it won't stain your clothes, but it still disinfects it. It's a different brand.
I can believe that. Yeah, there's probably several things out there if you research it.
It's pretty new.
Yeah, I'm old school, so all we had was bleach, toxic chemicals when I
Yeah.
grew up. Yeah, thank you. Okay. And hot water, by the way. Hot water is really, really key. Okay. Some tables, by the way, have arm shelves built into them. For those of you wondering where to put your arms, they do on some. We don't have them here. I find they're kind of a pain to get in the way, but they actually have table shelves so that you can rest your arm underneath the face cradle. And we do have bolsters here and stools and all that kind of stuff. Table carts are kind of cool, by the way. Table carts are like little dollies for your table. Tables only weigh about 30 pounds, but they're such an awkward size to carry that even if you're quite strong, they're very annoying. Yes, Miss Everson, please.
Sorry, going back to the linens, my old location, like a laundromat, caught on fire because someone was washing their massage therapy stuff. Is it oils or something that can...
I'm guessing what happened was, and I'm guessing, by the way, Miss Everson, I wasn't there, but washing them would not cause that problem. I'm guessing they got stuff in the dryer with lots of oil. Yeah.
Okay.
And I wouldn't think they washed them with detergent and got them in the dryer. I would think somehow they put stuff in the dryer that had lots of oil in it and didn't. And that would catch fire. But I've never heard that before, but maybe Miss Clayton has. Miss Clayton, yeah, can you comment?
Yeah, we've the Hammonds chain has actually had franchises catch on fire because of the oil in the back room, and something with friction or something, it sparks and then it goes up in flames. So there's something with oil, you have to be careful and not keep them in a heated container for a long time.
But that's not the washing of them. That's just the fact that the oil is combustible and it's all in one location and gets hot.
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. Oil is flammable. Yes.
Yeah.
So remember that. No smoking while you're doing a massage, everybody. Gotta wait till afterwards. Okay. The face cradle. Face rest, they call it. I call it face cradle. The idea of a faced cradle is to be able to keep somebody's neck in neutral position or even slightly flexed, which means bent forward to open it up back here. Some clients will actually set their face cradle, or therapists too, so the client's neck is going back like this. You actually want your face cradle to be flat or down a little bit. It's really better for their neck. Now, do we argue with the client when they don't like it that way? No. Just to be really clear, when a client does something that I don't think is really therapeutic, I mention it once, like, hey, it might be better to have the face cradle down, and they're like, I don't like it that way, never going to mention it again. So I will speak up. I speak up about everything, but I speak up once. Because sometimes what happens, and I'm speaking from embarrassed personal experiences, we will argue with a client. I've actually caught myself many years ago arguing with a client about what's best for them. And that's not my job. My job is to suggest what's best for them and then do what they want, assuming that it's ethical and all that kind of stuff. So be careful, because sometimes you're like, but I know it's better that way. And you're right. I'm sure you're right. Just don't get into a situation where you're actually arguing with them. But anyway, face cradle, be nice if it was flat or down, actually, when they are prone, which is face down. This is actually a really good example. This person here. Their face cradle is just ever so slightly down. That person's neck is not being hyperextended back. All that good stuff. Cool. And bolsters. It's always a good idea to offer people bolsters. I don't even think we had bolsters when I went to school, and I'm not joking. So I'm not used to them, but lots and lots of clients like bolsters. They have a hard time with their feet going completely flat. Yes, Miss Green.
So,
bolsters are used more so, I guess, for like balance, kind of, right?
Bolsters, the bolster we're seeing underneath her ankles in this picture is used for two reasons. One is some people's feet don't really plantar flex fully, or I'll explain what that is later, but they don't go flat fully when they're face down. And some people, it puts tension on their low back, which is probably the bigger reason. And they don't like, and the bolster helps take the tension off their low back.
Okay.
So,
And then
what,
if they're on their back, it's supposed to go like under their knees or something.
yes, under the ankles when they're face down, under the knees when they're face up, again to relieve pressure on their back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, by the way, I have back problems and I don't like a bolster under my ankles or under my knees. But I also went to school where I had a teacher who was always like, we're trying to make the client flat into the table. You know, we're trying to smush them out and stuff. So it's just a different philosophy. But by the way, though, I give clients bolsters when they want them. I would never, like, that's just my old school stuff talking. Yes, Ms. Hendrickson, yes.
Is that what that term lordosis? Is that what that means? It's tension on the low back? It's in the book.
Yeah, lordosis, man, we will study it too. Lordosis means a exaggerated curvature of your lower back. So, we all have a curve in our lower back that goes in. If you're standing behind the person, it goes in.
Mm-hmm.
And it should. It's supposed to. But lordosis is when it's exaggerated.
Okay.
And we will discuss ad nauseum why that happens and what you can do from a massage therapist point of view.
Okay.
Usually, tilted pelvises, anterior tilts of pelvis can lead to lordosis, but we'll get to that later. But yeah. But you're right, it means that the curve is too much. The curve's there, but it's too much. Mr. Richards.
In the questions on that homework last night, they put the ankles when you're supplying, right?
No, it should be the knees when you're supine.
Because there was one question, and I got it wrong. It said that you put it under the ankles. I'm trying to think what the question
Well, so you
was.
probably put it on the ankles when they are prone. And prone
Okay.
means face down.
Yeah, that was.
You might have just flipped the terms.
Right. I know I got that question wrong. But it confused me a little. It was a long day.
Well, it is confusing, and actually it's one of the things that, and this is nobody's fault. Susan Salvo wrote a good book. The lady who wrote this book. But it's one of the hard things, like massage is hard to kind of discuss about body positioning and all that kind of stuff in a book. We're talking about three-dimensional life in a two-dimensional book, and it's very challenging. But anyway, for the record, face down is prone. It's called prone when you're face down. This woman in this picture is prone. And the bolster goes underneath the ankles when they are prone. And when they are supine, face up, supine on the spine, you'll hear people say to kind of remind themselves. Supine on the spine, it goes underneath the knees. Yeah. Cool.
I think both the questions were on that test, Mr. Richards.
Both questions were?
Yeah.
Got it. So it'd be easy to swap them then. Yeah. Okay. Oh, when you are sliding a bolster underneath underneath the knees or the ankles or whatever, make sure it's covered. Anything that touches the client has to be washed. So now you could cover it by sliding it underneath the bottom sheet. That's not touching them. Or you can have a cover on the bolster, but it then has to be sterilized. You can't just keep reusing the same bolster. Cross-contamination is a really big deal. Massage is extremely safe if you wash your hands, wash your linens, and wash anything that touches more than one person. So, just always either slide your bolster, most people slide their bolster underneath the bottom sheet to take care of this problem. And here, Mr. Richards is somebody supine on their spine with the bolster underneath their knees. Yay. Stools! Oh, yes, Miss Green, please.
What about the one for that was underneath the neck?
Oh, I didn't even notice. Yeah. So what they did is they put a rolled towel. Your neck, like your low back, has a curve inward, and that people really like that if you put like a little towel back there to kind of support the natural curvature of their neck, and that's completely fine. And I guess it's kind of like a neck bolster. You're right. And somebody just took a rolled up towel to get the right size and do that back there. And if you guys bring towels to lab, you can do that with your own towel.
Is
But
that something you think that you probably want to ask more so than just like suggest doing it?
yeah, I always ask, do you want a bolster? Do you want a neck bolster? Yeah, I ask.
Yeah, because I feel like there's definitely somebody like that wouldn't know what that's for or what it is.
Right,
Like,
and there might be somebody who doesn't like it. Like I don't like bolsters when I'm receiving a massage. I'm like, I don't like it, man. I like to kind of stretch out to the table, and I don't, you know. I also, by the way, this is something for you all to chew on, and unfortunately, half the course is like this. There's a lot of things there is not a correct answer to. It just depends on your client, depends on your style, depends on how well you read the situation. But there's something you really have to think about in massage, which is you want the client to be comfortable, right? You want them to get in there and you want to set up the bolster right, give them a neck bolster if they want it, and put a blanket over them, all that kind of stuff. But the client wants to be comfortable too, but they also want you to get going with their massage. And I hate it when somebody spends what feels like 10 minutes getting me set up on the table because that's my massage time. And so, you know, I am generalizing horribly here, but when I used to work at the resort, people from New York would come in, and man, they're awesome, by the way, huge tippers. But they do not want you screwing around. They're like, let's go. You start asking them all these questions. So like, I want to get my massage. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And you spend a lot of time like, oh, I want to adjust this thing. Let's smooth out the sheets and all this stuff. They want you to go, go, go. So you've got to kind of measure that where you really want to make the client comfortable. You want to do all that kind of stuff, but you do not want to spend a tremendous amount of time because the person is aware there's a clock running and they want you to start rubbing. That's why they came. Right? And also, conversely, I admit if you throw them on the table and you don't take care of any comfort and start rubbing them, that might drive them crazy. I would love that myself. But you've got to kind of find that sweet spot for yourself. Yes? Here, I'll tell you what. And just talk to me there. We'll pick you up here, sir. Don't be. Well, oh, gosh, yes. It is not only okay to ask the client to come 5 minutes early to get set up. When we have clinics here at school, I tell people you might want to show up 15 minutes early to assure that you get your full time in your massage. Right? Because when a client shows up fairly late, I'm okay giving them a little bit of extra time to make up for that as a gesture. But I don't want to train them to be late, and I'm not going to let them make me cut into the next client's time. So that's kind of on them. And I try to be really nice. I will give them an extra 5 minutes to show I've made an effort. Like you show up a little bit late, I will run you 5 minutes over. But after I run you 5 minutes over, you're probably going to cut into somebody else's time. I sit down, wash my hands, go to the bathroom, all that kind of stuff to change the table. And I don't want to train you to do that. Conversely, everybody, and you'll see this in clinic because I'll be all over you about this. When clients show up early, if you are available, take them now. Reward them for, I don't mean you have to give them extra time. I don't mean that. You give them a 1 hour massage if that's what they signed up for. But if they show up early, take them right then and thank them. Thank you so much for coming early. It's so helpful. You're ahead of the game. You always want to be ahead of the game. You're always on this tight kind of time frame. So please, I've actually seen people say, well, yeah, my client's here, but my massage doesn't start till 9. But what are you doing right now? Well, I'm sitting here. Go get your client and give them a 1 hour massage. Yes, Ms. Clayton.
So timing is really important, and we have a lot of struggles with time. So with our clients, what I tell the therapist is, if the client's late, that's, you can extend their time if you have the availability to. However, you need to train them, like you said. And we say, normally I would have to end my session at whatever time you're normally supposed to end. because I have clients back to back. However, since you're new here or whatever, I'll go ahead and give you your full time. Just know next time it's really important you get here on time so you can get your full time. And then with starting early, that does get tricky because even though you start the client early, sometimes they still think that they're going to end at their original end time. So you have to be really good with your communication and saying, we're starting you 5 minutes early, so you're going to end 5 minutes early. Because I've had a lot of clients get taken back early, then come out and complain that they didn't get their full time when they really did, but they didn't realize that the 5 minutes was started early. So, like I tell my therapist, it's so important to communicate these facts because you assume they're going to know and they don't. So
that's interesting. I've never run into the second thing that you talk about, which obviously you do all the time. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying I've never run into that. But I do agree with communication. Like, you need to tell them what to expect. Like, oh, we can get you started early and you're going to end a bit early too. Like, just a little pithy comment like that as you walk back goes a long way. You're absolutely right.
Exactly.
But I definitely don't like to keep anybody waiting. I don't have to.
Just make sure you let them know that they're still not going to end at their original end time.
And I love what you guys do when they're running late, which is, hey, you're brand new. We'll see what we can do this first time. But of course, you're subtly saying, but it's not going to happen again. We're not running over every time you're late, because you guys will have perpetual late people, and you guys are paid hourly. It's critical that they are there or their time gets cut short.
Exactly. And we have a huge issue, and I don't know if you do with personal clients, with no-shows. Just people it's just a massage. I don't have to show up.
Yeah.
I don't know how you manage that.
Well, I can tell you how we manage it at our clinic, which is very interesting, but I don't think it'll work in your situation, but I love it here. So we used to charge, I don't remember. Anyway, we still kind of do this. But anyway, we used to just take appointments, you're right. And we had no-shows right and left. I mean, what's stopping them from not showing up for their $20 massage, right? So we started saying, hey, our clinics are a great deal. Our clinics are $20 an hour. And if you book the last week when there's still appointments left, we want to sell those appointments because we want students to practice. So we drop the price to $10 an hour. So you can get a 2-hour massage for $20 if you wait till a week out and there's still something available. There usually is. But what we do is everybody has to prepay to book. And then we have an absolute 100% no return policy. Ever. So I've honestly had people call and say there was a death in the family and go, oh my gosh, I'm really sorry, and I really am. I mean, I'm really sincere. And the next thing out of my mouth is, I hope maybe you can give your ticket to somebody else, because they're allowed to transfer it to anybody. Somebody else can show up. We don't care, but we do not refund it. And we explain to them that's how we keep our prices low. But boy, did that reduce our no-shows, because once they've got 10 or 20 bucks in the game, all of a sudden it's funny that little appointment becomes important to them. Yeah. We will book them another appointment if they didn't like their massage, just as a courtesy on us for free, but we don't do anything for the stuff they booked. They show up or they don't. And we've got them so well trained now that people are like, well, because I'm making a donation to the school. Yep, thank you. But I think it works for us because of our cheap model, right? That we're a student clinic.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get people to pay whatever.
Yeah. Well, and then we I don't know if you guys have this, but we have a ton of chargebacks and we lose every time.
Yeah.
So
we don't charge back, so we have that thing, right?
No. They charge. They dispute their charge.
Oh, so
we credit card company and we lose.
Oh, gotcha. We've never had that happen, but if we did, we'd remove them from our list.
Yeah.
It's kind of snotty, but we send out email notices, so if somebody's really difficult, to be very honest with you, I just erase them from the notice list.
Yeah.
And then they don't come to clinics anymore because they don't know about them.
Yeah.
We live in two very different worlds, though. And in a way, I prefer mine because I used to be in yours, and it's the pressure and the complaints and everything is much higher when you're charging $120 or when they're spending that kind of money as opposed to a $10 student clinic. Yeah. Mr. Overman.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I owned my own roofing company for a couple of years, and what I do is I just charge half down up front. And instead of taking it all at once, but that was always enough to keep that appointment.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I had quite a few people. Yeah, I want to get the work done, and my crew would show up, and no, I don't want to do this anymore. And what can we do? Nothing, because we didn't take any money. So
Yeah, that's a great idea. It
yeah,
is.
half down worked really well for us.
Yeah, and I will tell you guys something I did as a massage therapist when I was practicing regularly at my house. When somebody would come to get a massage, and I had a Square app and all that kind of stuff, so I could take cash or credit card right there. But when they were paying for that massage on the way out, let's say the massage was $50, I'd say if you want to book and pay for your next massage now, I don't care if it's a year from now, whatever, but if you want to put it on the books and pay for it, 20% off. So if you were paying $100 at my house for a 2-hour massage, you can get it for $80, and they're already swiping the card. So I run it through as one charge, and it's on the books. And sometimes they reschedule that one, but what I found is it's already a paid-for massage, and it's kind of a freebie to them in their mind, and they'd show up for those. And I'm also catching them when they're coming with the afterglow. Because when you come out of massage, you have lots of endorphins running in your body. You are slightly in love with your massage therapist at that point of view, and you would love another massage. By the time you go home, that's wearing off, and now the dog needs to be fed, and the kids are crying, and your spouse and you know, whatever, right? You want to catch them right then. So I would give them a 20% discount to book and pay at that time. And sometimes they would be like, well, can I book multiple appointments with that discount? Yes, you can. You want to book out the next year and pay me $8,000, let's do it. Let's go. But boy, that is a really good thing. Because you want them to rebook after the massage anyway. You really, really do. And most people are like, oh, it's great. No, I'll do it later. I don't want to think about it right now. Well, you're paying right now. Let's book now. I'll give you a 20% discount. And it was worth it to me because of what Ms. Clayton's talking about. No shows cost a fortune. And they put you in a really difficult situation. Do I dump this person as a client if they have multiple no-show? Do I keep them as a client? Do I charge them? A lot of places have a charge policy, but they don't want to, they fight you on that. So that was a big one for me. 20% discount if you book right now and pay.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much.
Mr. Richards.
There's a payment app that you can get, you just said?
Yeah. It's really cool. Oh, hold on. I'm muting you, sir. Okay. It's called Square app. I'm sure there's other ones, but you literally plug it into your phone and you can swipe credit cards through it. And they take 3%.
Okay.
So they take $3 from every 100, but they send you a report. You get all sorts of information on that person. And people spend more on credit cards. And I'll tell you what I really loved having my Square app was during Christmas. Because people come in, they get their massage, they're like, oh my God, I haven't gotten gifts for my whole family. And I'm like, gift certificates for massage. Let's do it. And they just run that card right through for like $450. Boom. That's the way to go. Yeah. Super helpful. I love them. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Singletary.
Do you keep like record books that keep track of?
No, you're fine.
My clients, I guess, paying in that situation.
Do I keep record books? No, but you need to keep some kind of record. So Mr. Singletary is asking, do I keep records of like record books of my clients' payments? I did not. I did not, but I did something close to that. When I was a self-employed massage therapist, I opened up a bank account that was only for massage income and wrote myself a paycheck out of that. So every person that paid me, the money went into that bank account, and I paid myself a paycheck out of that. I could literally look at my bank account at the end of the year and know how much I made as a massage therapist. I did that because it's very easy accounting for me, and the IRS actually loves to see it because my income wasn't mixed with my personal life. And so it's just a super simple thing. It doesn't cost you anything. You just open up another account and call it your massage account, and you deposit all of your client money in there and write yourself a paycheck anytime you want out of there. That's fine, but that's the only thing, or any supplies, by the way, that you're going to write off. But that account is not for anything else, and it's a really easy way to keep track of your income. Because if you ever do get audited, you want to show that you actually really tracked your income properly. Ms. Hendrickson.
I've done some independent contractor. Is that the same thing as self-employed?
Yes.
1099 form
Yes.
when you pull your taxes out?
Yes, independent contractor is self-employed as far as I'm concerned. When somebody 1099s you, you are going to be responsible for all the taxes on that, including both sides of Social Security. because you are self-employed. Normally, an employer is kicking in. A lot of people don't realize how much an employer really kicks in. And I will say this to all of you, and Ms. Clayton will know this too. A lot of times you work for a place, and like at the Princess, I honestly think, it's been so long, but we charge like $150 an hour for a massage. And the therapist is like, well, why am I getting $35 of this, and they're getting, $115? Well, they're paying the other side of your taxes. They're paying for the massages you messed up and they had to comp. They're paying for the $12 million spa that costs, $1,000 a day just to air condition. They're paying for all that. They're paying for at our spa, every year, we had to spend $50,000 every year to replenish towels that were stolen.
People steal towels?
Heck yeah, they do. They love that towel. They feel like they deserve it. They just dropped $350 to your spa. They take a little memento, and you don't search people's bags at the Princess. And so $50,000 for stolen towels at the spa. That's just, by the way, it's just every person got like, I want a Princess towel. Great, thanks a lot. And those towels are expensive. So I mean, just to remind you guys, there are a lot of things that an employer has to absorb. Yes, when they 1099 you, in a sense, you absorb all those things. But you're not an employee. They're really hiring you on contract to do a job.
So that's how you file your taxes, the same form when you're
just be prepared. If you're doing a 1099, you probably even need to make quarterly payments.
Okay.
So we'll talk about this more in the business section, but I do want to actually address it right now.
Yeah.
You will be penalized by the IRS if you get to the end of the year and you owe over a certain amount. This is something none of us have to worry about. Me as a teacher, I don't worry about this now because my boss is pulling that money out when they give me my paycheck. And the government gets that money. And that's why when we file our taxes at the end of the year, quite often you get some money back because you've overpaid your taxes. Well, if you are a 1099 person, self-employed, nobody's pulling money out. And even if you get to the end of the year and you're like, I can afford to write that $2,000 check, they will still come back and say, you should have paid that every quarter along the way. And so you need to make quarterly payments. And they're not hard to do. It's very simple to do, but you essentially have to mail them a check every 3 months for what you estimate your taxes to be. And there are programs online that can help you figure that out. It's not difficult. There is another trick you can use. And I've used this too that works really well. It's not an illegal trick. It's a very legal trick. But if I work for a massage place and I have customers on the side, what I do is I ask the massage place to take out lots of taxes from my check.
So that way you'll probably get.
They're making my quarterly payment for me.
Right.
And that way at the end of the year I don't owe all this money. I don't get a penalty. That's another little trick you can do too. But that is stuff you can get hit with. And it's not a terrible penalty, but it's still, you'll be like, oh shoot, I owe $250 because I didn't do that. Yes, sir. Mr. Singletary. Still works. Mr. Singletary's like, what if I work construction? Can I have them take out extra money to help cover my massage clients? Yes. The IRS doesn't care. They just want the money to be there ahead of time. Yeah, any way you do it. Any way you do it. It's fine. Yeah. Cool. All right. So, stools. You sit on them, but I do want to make a comment about them. Don't overuse your stool. They are really good when you're working on feet, as this young lady is in the picture, and they're really good when you're working on head and neck. It's a pet peeve of mine, but it is founded in fact. The therapists that sit down through their whole massage are not good massage therapists. And they will do it. Therapists love to sit down and work on your arm on a chair. Well, your arms are extremely important. We're going to learn to work them. I think they're very valuable. But they're less important than back, they're less important than neck, they're less important than legs, they're less important than feet. They're not structurally part of your body. If there's a problem with my right arm, I can still walk around right. If there's a problem with my right foot, I'm doomed. And it's an excuse to be lazy. Don't be a lazy massage therapist. Do not sit down through your whole massage. It also slows you down. My chair is usually set up at the head of the table and I don't even move it. I kneel down to do your feet. When I get to the head, I'm usually towards the end of my massage, and then I sit down and That's what I use it for, and it really because it puts me at the right angle. So I know standing's hard, but I really discourage you from overusing your stool a lot. Clients know when you're being a lazy massage therapist, and they do not like it. They do not like it. That's my only thing. Table warmers are amazing. I'm sorry you don't get them with your student starter kit, but you might want to order one. They're like $50. The thing I love about table warmers is I want the room to be like negative 35 degrees, but my client wants the room to be like 85 degrees. So that way I can have the room cool for me when I'm massaging them and the table's warm for them and they love it. And those little types of touches people really do like. And they're great. Get one, if you get a table warmer, by the way, get one that turns itself off. And they make them. Just make sure it's got an automatic shut off so that you don't forget one day and leave your table warmer on for a week, because it happens. Table carts are nice, but they don't go upstairs, but they are like a little dolly, super light for your table. Really do make it easy if you have to go down a long walk or something with your table. Okay, sorry, just checking on time here. Massage sheets, you can go two routes. Like we said, you can go cheap or expensive. I like cheap and replace them often so they always look new. That's my thing. If I get a set of sheets for $10, then if they last a couple months, that's plenty for me. I always use a Modesty towel when I massage somebody, which is the towel over the sheet. So they're still under a sheet, but I have another towel on top of them. The weight of the towel tends to make people feel more covered. Plus, I end up using the towel for other things too. I can use it for breast draping or rolling up under their neck or wiping extra oil off or whatever. But I really, really like Modesty towels. I really recommend you use them with your clients. It just makes them feel more covered. Because you feel very naked under a sheet. You know what I mean? Yes, Ms. Clayton, please.
Yeah, that's extremely important. It's one that we've received a lot of complaints about because a lot of sheets are pretty much see-through, especially white ones.
Yeah.
And it's important for any client, not just. I mean, we've gotten the complaints when it's a male therapist with a female client, but you know, it's really important. And the Modesty towels are huge because they do make the client feel protected.
Yeah, and not just see-through. You can tell it's kind of forming over your body. It just makes you feel very naked. You're right.
Yeah, and I always explain, you know, the temperature of the table and their comfort level is so basic because it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If they don't feel comfortable and safe, they're not going to be able to enjoy their massage at all.
I agree. I absolutely agree. You're absolutely right. So the first thing is kind of that emotional safety, and the next thing is, yes, food, water, and temperature kind of stuff. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Once you got that, then if the massage is good, you're golden. You're absolutely right. And I will say, I know you didn't intend this at all, but I just want to chime in because I've gotten complaints about this when I was at the spa. Don't assume just because you're the same sex as a client that it's okay to drape differently. Because I've had people complain like, I didn't really like the draping, I didn't feel fully covered, and I'll talk to the therapist and they'll be like, but she's a woman and I'm a woman. Does not matter. Kind of essentially treat all your clients the same. They're all unisex to you, drape them all the same, treat them all the same. I really recommend that. Don't assume, because you never know what their preference is, their comfort level, all sorts of stuff. I've heard all sorts of stuff that's quite legitimate. Yeah. I once worked on a woman who had never had a massage before, and she goes, I'm really nervous. I said, yeah, I'm sure it's hard, and I'm a male therapist. I get it. She goes, no, I want a male therapist. My husband's the only person who's ever seen me naked, and I actually feel more comfortable around another man. That's an unusual thing to hear, but that's what I meant. Like, you just get stuff all over the board. So I just treat everybody the same. Yeah. I guess popular sheet fabrics are cotton. I never really thought about it. And we already talked about the see-through factor. That's why we use a towel. I also like towels because they're easy to wash. Blankets are a lot of work. Get a big towel. Blankets are really hard to wash. Not one blanket's not hard to wash, but if you work at some place and you've got 50 blankets, it's a whole other deal. And we already talked about towels. I love them, love them, love them. Okay. everybody, it's 9:30. Let's take a 15-minute break because this is just to break up the day. So we'll be back here at 9:46. All right? See you guys in 15 minutes. Bye. Take a break.
Is your class on right now?
Yeah, so they're on break. Yeah. You can say hello in 1 minute.
I got to come out and say hello to Southwest yesterday, and I didn't get to see all the newbies.
Yeah, hold on a second. I should pause this, but that's all right. That's okay. Give him one more second. Does she need you?
No.
Okay.
I want to say hello to you.
All right, everybody. We're coming back from break, I hope. Got fresh cups of coffee, food. I want to introduce you. Some of you have already met this person. Here, come closer so you're going to, that's there. Okay. This is my boss, by the way. This is Miss Blackman. And so if you have any problems with me, this is the person to talk to. Actually, that's true, though. Anyway, I just want you to know her face. If you have any problems, and I know this is convenient because she's standing right next to me, but she's my favorite boss of all time. I really mean that. I've actually watched her cry over student issues. She really, really cares. Ridiculously so. And she is insane. I mean, crazy. Anyway, which I love about her too. So anyway, if you ever have any problems that I can't solve, I'm really serious. She's really the one to talk to. She's just wonderful. She's just wonderful.
We can't see you.
You can't see me? Well, maybe you don't have a pit. Maybe you should be able to see me, sir. I realize I'm... Here, I'll do this. Does that help, Mr. Richards? Still can't see me? Or
I can now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are your eyes open? There. So now you can see her. That's it. She just wants to say, you want to say anything?
Yeah, hello everyone. I just wanted to say hello, congratulations on your second day. I wanted to say welcome to you guys, and I am so thrilled. And he's right, I am nuts. So if there's anything that you guys need, that you are like, I don't even know how to fix this problem, come to us and ask us, you guys, all of you. We are here to help you and service you through your entire education and beyond. So welcome to Gateway. I am thrilled to have you here. You have one of the best instructors I've ever known in my lifetime. So again, welcome. I appreciate you letting me hijack your class for a moment, and I love you all. Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Will you close the door on the way out?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. All right, everybody. So that really wasn't for her benefit. She really is that great. I wanted to say that when she's gone too. She's awesome. Anyway, she genuinely cares about people, which is a unique thing to find. Okay, everybody. Do we have questions since break? Were you sitting on the toilet and you're like, I got to ask him this thing? That's when all my great ideas come to me. Mr. Richards, yes, sir.
Would you suggest some sort of eye covering when someone's at your head?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, you're asking the wrong person. It's probably a great idea. When I went to school, we didn't even have massage tables. We just threw you down on a rock and rubbed you with sand. So, it really was old school. So, and I just, if you have an eye covering though, you got to wrap it in a Kleenex because otherwise you're going to wash the eye covering every time. So it's got to be a towel, or if you have a nice eye pillow, those are neat, but you got to wrap it in a Kleenex before you put it on their eyes. And then my problem with eye coverings is I like to manipulate your neck when I'm working it because I like to put as much movement into my strokes as possible. And so then the eye covering's sliding off the whole time. But I guess while they're just laying there and you're not working their neck, maybe that's a nice idea. Again, those are things that just depends on your style and the way you approach stuff. And also kind of the massage you're selling. The massage I'm selling is I will lovingly beat the hell out of you and you will feel better and and that's it. Other people are like, you're going to come to this calm, relaxing experience. There will be lavender in the air. That's not me. Yeah, I think it's beautiful, by the way. I think it's amazing. I worked in a spa that was like that. Where we piped in lavender and things like that. And it had the eye pillows and everything. It's just for my style of massage and the people that come to see me, it just doesn't fit what I'm delivering. So it really depends on what your brand is. You guys are all creating a brand, and I want to warn you, by the way, up front, since you're brand new here, you will very likely work for somebody in this room, and you will very likely be the boss of somebody in this room during your career. I literally got this job right here because an old employee of mine, somebody I had hired, they said, hey, we need a really good massage person. And she's like, call this person. So people remember you in this industry forever. You will be a massage therapist and a massage manager and a massage teacher, quite possibly, if you do this long enough. So you're going to see people again and kind of think about the brand you are building. Because when I used to hire people at the Princess, one of the first things I would do, because we got hundreds of resumes, I'd walk out in my room with all my massage therapists there. We employed 50 massage therapists. It's a giant spa. But I'd walk out in the employee lounge with a massage therapist. I'd be like, does anybody know Simon Richards? And people would be like, yeah, I know that guy. You do not want to hire him. And I'm just joking. They obviously would say wonderful things about you, but just to make a point, they will tell you. And they'll be like, I worked at him over this other place, and oh man, and you're lucky if he shows up. And I'm like, okay, that resume goes away, because I know that interviews don't tell me very much. Or they'll be like, nicest guy ever. He's such a team player, and people love his massage. And then I'm like, okay, like that's it. I'm going to make my entire decision based on that kind of stuff. So people remember you in this industry forever. So build a good brand. That's my little appeal to that. All right, everybody. Creams, lotions, butters, yeah, oils and gels. Everybody's got a different opinion about this, but essentially, oils have more glide, and as you go towards creams and gels, they have less glide. And believe it or not, there are a lot of times you want less glide. When you're doing deeper work, you don't want things to be too slick. In my opinion, when you do a massage, you want just enough lubricant on there that you don't catch their skin in a way that's annoying to them. But beyond that, I actually do want to catch their skin, as long as it's not annoying to them, right? So I want just enough. I always worry when somebody really lubricates my body for a massage, because I'm like, we're not going to go in deep at that point. So oils tend to give you lots of lubricant, use a lot less oil. Gels and creams tend to be more viscous, but you also sometimes have to apply them more often. By the way, a gel is really supposed to be a mixture between kind of a cream and an oil. That's the concept, at least. And some people do blend creams and oils together if they'll blend. It depends on what kind you have, but they'll actually mix them together to get the right slip. Ms. Osuna, you had your hand raised, I think. Did you not?
I was wondering if you could share your screen again so we can see the slides.
Oh gosh, you can. Let's do it. I'm sorry, I forgot. Awesome. There we go. Cool. All right. So, oils are probably the most lubricating. Creams probably the least, and gels somewhere in the middle. And by the way, I've used all. I like all in different situations, but I tend to lead towards gels and creams because I want something that's not super slick. I do all sorts of tricks too. If somebody has a really hairy back, I will often put lotion on their back first, because the lotion kind of clings to their hair, and then I'll use oil on top of that. That's if I'm really worried about pulling their hairs and things like that for their comfort. And that person I am trying to lubricate quite a bit. And I'm talking about somebody very hairy, but that is an option. That's kind of a trick to use. Yes, Miss Carrillo.
The creams and the lotions, I think I either read or I heard that a lot of people prefer them because they're water-based and they're easier to clean and don't stain the fabrics. Is that true?
Yeah, and I should have mentioned that. I'm glad you brought it up. I did not think to mention that. That's actually a bigger consideration to me, is the stuff water-based or not. Because the water-based stuff doesn't ruin your sheets. It doesn't ruin your clients' clothes as much. And you're right. Clients don't like to have lots of oil all over them when they're getting back on their clothes and things like that. When you're at a spa, it's not as important because most people are showering and steaming and all this stuff afterwards. But you're absolutely right. Looking at water-based lubricants, if you can find one that you like, because they do feel different, has a lot of advantages to your laundry and everything. Yeah, Thank you for bringing that up. Mr. Overman, yes, sir.
The oil we're using in class, is that going to be water-based?
I don't know. Isn't that terrible? And it's the only thing we use. It's a gel, by the way, we use in class. It's not an oil, it's not a cream, it's a gel. Mr. Thornton, do you know or do you have a question?
No, I just have a question.
Okay. Well, anyway, you know what, sir? I know this is a lame answer, but it's really, Mr. Overman, when you come in, grab one of the bottles and read the ingredients and see. It'll tell you. But I don't know. I don't wash our own sheets here either. We have a laundry company take them out and stuff. So, kind of feel like there's oil in it though. That's the way it feels to me. Yeah. We'll check it out when you get here. Mr. Thornton, yes.
Yeah, it's just referring to like lotions and oil. I know some people are like have allergic reactions to certain lotions and oils. So I was just saying.
Yeah. So I would avoid nut oils if you can, although they're very commonly used. Like sweet almond oil is one of the favorites out there. But avoid nut oils because of nut allergies. And I always get hypoallergenic oils, gels, lotions. The stuff we have here is hypoallergenic. And I don't put any scents in my oils and stuff. There is a very good reason to put scents in your oils, but I don't because, again, sometimes you get somebody who comes in and they go, I can't stand the smell of lavender. I hope you don't have lavender in your stuff, and you've got it in everything. So I avoid that because of allergies too. So get something hypoallergenic. The other reason too that you guys only have one choice here in our labs, which I've done in other places, is because if somebody does have an allergic reaction, I want to know what they're having an allergic reaction to. And if you carry 13 creams at your location and oils and stuff like that, they often get filled up in the wrong bottles and all sorts of stuff, and you actually don't know what went on that client when they do have an allergic reaction. And I want to know if somebody walks out and says, I'm having an allergic reaction, I'm like, you're having an allergic reaction to the Biotone gel, whatever's in this stuff, and we know that, and we can at least give that to a doctor. We at least know what we're dealing with. And so I like to at least know what's in my lab, so to speak, or my spa or whatever. So make sure if you've got lots of stuff around the house that you know what you're using. That's all. Okay. Just said this. Allergenic. I don't think we do not need to get into all the different types of stuff. But let's talk about cross-contamination. So this is not an oil bottle, but we're going to pretend it's an oil bottle. If I grab this oil bottle and rub it on somebody and grab it again with my hand, their body is now on this oil bottle. And this is the main ways that infections actually get transmitted in spas, is between oil bottles, really. So wipe down your oil bottle. Cross-contamination is a real thing. And I don't think you have to be crazy about stuff. Like I said, wash your hands, wash your oil bottles, wash your sheets, and you're golden. You're super safe. It's a super safe profession for the client and the therapist if you follow just that. But make sure, cross-contamination, because what happens, and I've been to a lot of places where somebody uses this oil bottle all day long. They do go wash their hands, and they pick this back up for the next client. By the end of the day, this has 7 clients on it. So wipe it down after every use. That's it. By the way, if you put too much lubricant on somebody, wipe it off, and you think you've messed up or you've got too much in your hands, wipe it off in the sheets. That's what they're for. The sheets are going to get washed. Lots of people make mistakes there. Keep your lubricants in a cool place. They do go bad. Your book says they'll last for 18 months if they're in a cool place. I don't know. That has not been my experience. Maybe in the refrigerator they might. But I kind of don't buy more oil than you're going to use in about a year. Yes, Ms. Clayton, what's been your experience?
Yeah, that's when I read that I laughed.
Yeah.
I would say the most we've had things last is maybe 6 to 9 months, but they go bad pretty quickly, so don't overbuy. We've learned that lesson the hard way.
Yeah. It does depend on how cool the environment is and all that kind of stuff, totally. I think if you put it in a fridge, you might get a year out of it, but she's right. And you will know they go bad because you will smell them, and they smell rancid. It's that simple. Somebody else raised their hand? I just missed it. Change the mind? Okay. Cool. Yeah, so don't overbuy. Good point. Or you're going to be dumping it down the drain. Aromatherapy is the use of essential oils, derivatives from flowers and plants and things like that. I do think, by the way, aromatherapy is really cool. And when I used to do massage at home, one of the things I would do for my regular clients is create their own scent for them. But then that lived in an oil bottle that lived with me for when they came. And it was their scent. And it was just kind of a way to kind of upgrade their experience and make them more loyal, really. But I didn't put aromatherapy in all my oils across the board because that really limits you. A lot of people will not like that particular scent, all that kind of stuff. And usually aromatherapy oils are usually blended at 3 to 5%. So that means if you have 1 ounce, let's do it a little simpler. That means if you have 3 ounces, 3 shot glasses of aromatherapy oil, which would be a lot, you need to have 100 of the carrier oil, the sweet almond oil, the whatever you're using. You don't usually use them straight, and some aromatherapy, some essential oils, you can really hurt somebody if you use them straight. Yeah, like eucalyptus oil, which will actually burn somebody. Yes, Miss Hendrickson.
Yeah, that just reminds me of a time that I used some essential oils in a bath and made the mistake of putting cinnamon in there, and it was really bad. It burned.
Yeah, I won't get into too much detail with you, but I bet it burned in all sorts of wonderful places.
Exactly.
So I'll tell you another story like that too. When I worked in the spa, we used to have a spa attendant who was kind of nutty and very, very hard to understand. English was her second language, very, very hard to understand. And the spa attendant would come in, we had a giant gallon of eucalyptus oil, and the spa attendant would take that into the steam room, and like in the female spa attendant would take in the woman's steam room and squirt a little bit in the steam diffuser, and it would come out in the steam room. It was amazing. Well, it was late one night, and we didn't have a male spa attendant, I don't know why, and a gentleman came in to use the steam room, and she's trying to explain to him, I want you to, because she can't go into the men's locker room, she's like, I want you to take the stuff in there and squirt a little bit in the steam room. He doesn't understand any of that. He thinks she's telling him that he should apply this to his body and then go into the steam room. So I used to have to walk through the men's locker room after I do a massage to get back to the front. And I walked into the men's locker room to a man standing in an anatomical position like this, naked, bright red. And he's like, I don't think I was supposed to, that girl told me to put this stuff all over my body. And I'm like, put what on your body? And he's like, the eucalyptus stuff. And then I smelled it. I was like, oh my God. He's like, should I get in the shower? I'm like, yeah. But I'm sitting there thinking, it's done. We had to call the paramedics. Like, he sued us and won. It wrecked him. It was a bad, he blistered. It was terrible. So yes, poor guy. I'll never forget it. Never forget it. Anyway, that's my, yes. Kind of like the cinnamon, but worse. Yes. Miss Dimitri?
What about like candles for the aromatherapy versus
I like that idea.
stuff on
Sure.
there?
Yeah. Well, I think you, I mean, besides, it will leave a scent in the room, but I like the idea because you don't have to worry about it actually causing an allergic reaction on their body kind of thing, right? And if you do something like that, I recommend you have candles around to sell. To sell to the client.
Okay.
Because it's you're leaving money on the table. I don't care if you work out of your house, whatever. Like, if you have stuff that you really like, because the client will come in, they'll be like, oh my God, and what was that candle? And they're running that credit card through. You could be like, I have them, right here. You can even be like, if you book your next massage at full price, forget about the 20% discount. If you book your next massage and pay for it right now, I'll throw in a candle. Bam, done. And by the way, that's called value added as opposed to discount promoting. And value added promoting is much more effective and much cheaper. Because the candle The candle that you're selling for $25 didn't cost you $25, but the person feels like they got $25. So it's better to give somebody a $25 item than take $25 off their bill, because it only costs you $13 to give them a $25 item, whereas taking $25 off their bill really costs you $25.
All right.
Ms. DeBose?
Oh, I just wanted to say that, like, about the candles part,
Please.
and they're really easy to make, so it really doesn't cost any money to sell those candles. I have my own little business for that already, so I'm excited that you said that.
Yeah, that business worked perfectly with your massage thing. And you could have flavors of the month, right? And all sorts of stuff. Yeah. That's a really good idea. Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad you're thinking that direction. Ms. Hendrickson, yeah.
Is that okay to sell things? Like, I mean, you can still include that in your like massage, you don't need like a separate license to be like a retail license or something to sell things, or do you just like charge it?
We were talking about you working out of your house or something like that, right?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm sure somebody somewhere is going to tell you that. And by the way, I'm not some expert on the laws, but my experience has been as long as you're claiming the money to the IRS, the rest is fine. And you're selling normal products like, lavender eye pillows and candles and CDs of Enya, and that's all fine. Go for it. Nobody's going to mind. And if you're claiming the money, I'm more worried about the IRS than anything. If you're claiming the money, you're fine. You're not doing anything. You're talking about nothing, really. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure, by the way, technically you're supposed to have some license, but I don't even think it governed. No, you're not going to have a problem. And I know hundreds of therapists that do that. Yeah, it's just not an issue. Assuming you're working for yourself. You can't be selling stuff on the side when you're working for Massage Envy or whatever. They get to sell their stuff.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, lavender is considered the universal essential oil. My only complaint about lavender, I love lavender, but my only complaint about it is it's kind of overused in spas. It's everywhere. Lavender's in everything nowadays. I think you need some more unique stuff. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, that's right. By the way, some people also put eucalyptus oil like in the face cradle cover. So in a way that it doesn't touch the person's face, but like the cloth hanging down so they can get some eucalyptus going that way and not actually directly touch their skin. That's not a bad idea. And another idea is diffusers too, because you can put drops in a diffuser in a room and run it too. But we're not going to go through all that. You guys already read the chapter. Some facilities pipe scent into their facility, especially big name spas. They try to, if you're branding a scent, they usually pick a scent that they use at all their spas, so that you actually walk in and go, "Oh, this is Willow Stream," like it's their own signature scent. Along those lines, I kind of recommend that you guys have a signature scent, and I don't mean colognes and perfumes. You actually want to avoid those as massage therapists because they can irritate your client. But remember, you're a brand again. So when I used to do alcohol, I dressed the same way every time. I really wanted them to recognize that's my massage therapist. I had the same kind of look every time, the same setup, all that kind of stuff. So kind of think about that, because you are studying an environment literally with the way you look. Yes, Mr. Craven.
When you're doing stuff out of your house, or you're making like a house call, are you wearing scrubs, or are you just doing whatever?
Yeah, I wasn't wearing scrubs because we didn't use scrubs back in my school, but I had on kind of like professional exercise stuff, is the way I'd put it. I wanted to look kind of like, I kind of looked like your personal trainer coming in, right? That was my thing, because that's kind of what I was selling too, right? Like kind of like athletic kind of massage, right? And I do think you want to think about the message you're giving from your clothing. And I want to be very careful that I don't suggest that nobody should treat you a particular way regardless of how you're dressed. But I think it looks good if you look therapeutic, male or female, if you look therapeutic when you go to do a massage. And flip-flops and shorts doesn't look therapeutic, that kind of stuff. So yeah. But you want comfortable clothing. You got to do massage. I don't think there's any problem. And you want to look clean. Clean. You know, you don't have to look pretty. If you put your hair back, boom, ready to go. People like, but you want to look clean and well kept. You're about to touch somebody and they want to see that. Clean and athletic is a great look for a massage therapist. Yeah. Okay. Lighting for your massage place. Just be careful you turn the lighting back up after your massage, because actually my experience has been that the most lawsuits we dealt with were not for massages themselves. The most lawsuits we dealt with were for people falling down after their massage. Had nothing to do with the massage. They'd slip. Slips are big. The lighting wasn't adequate and they'd run into something. That kind of stuff. So that's stuff to think about. Everybody's always worried about getting sued for their massage. Almost never happens. Almost never happens, assuming you're being appropriate. Then it never happens, really. But what does happen is people get injured, even at your house. So make sure you turn the lights back up. You make sure they've kind of got their senses back when they get up off the table, things like that. All that. Or that. Your book says consider how body art could be, you know, if you've got any ink or anything like that. I don't think that's really a consideration anymore these days. You might have an employer that doesn't like it, but most places it's pretty mainstream now. I think the book's a little outdated on that. So don't worry about it. Unless, by the way, your employer says, hey, you've got to cover that. But nowadays, there's not a lot of places that even do that. Again, this is what I was talking about be careful about people slipping. Things like that. Okay, good. All right. Any questions so far? We got about 45 minutes left, and I've got other stuff to go over. I'm just asking if we have any questions about that before I switch to talking to you guys about muscles a little bit, which is my favorite thing in the world to talk about. No? Yes, Ms. Carrillo.
Sorry, I was worried about something silly, but
No, it's okay.
a lot of these, the ones that you underlined, you said would be on the tests.
Yeah.
And a lot of this, it looks like we just covered in chapter 3. So I guess if we just focus on those, that would memorize them. It would help.
Well, you don't even have to memorize them. The test is online, and you're going to get it after this lecture.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's open book. We don't think, and here's why, by the way. It's not that we're trying to just give you all the answers, but I don't think that this is stuff that is important for you to memorize. This is gonna be in your skull just from using these lotions, using these oils, doing all this stuff. Like, this is just something we want to make sure you read the chapter and things like that. So there's a lot of stuff like that in this class where we're like, this is not important. Whereas the stuff I'm getting into here in a minute is important that you memorize. You're right. And I'll be drilling it over and over again. This stuff, once you kind of are familiarized with it, in my opinion, you know, you're fine after that point, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I hope. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? No. Maybe. Okay. All right. Let's switch it up here a little bit. Okay, everybody. Your body is, I'm switching gears completely here, talking about muscles. We are going to study about 100 muscles in this class. There are actually something like 653.2 muscles in your entire body. And I do not know most of them because most of them are internal muscles, muscles of your eyelid, things that just do not matter to us. We are studying the 100 structural muscles of your body. So to be a structural muscle, it means that this is a muscle that moves me and also helps me hold certain positions. It actually affects my structure, affects the architecture of my body. And so we're going to be studying the muscles that you would care about if you were a massage therapist, a personal trainer, a physical therapist, an exercise physiologist. These are movement muscles and postural muscles. They're muscles that help you move and help with your posture. A lot of these muscles are grouped into groups. They work together. And so we like to start to just make sure you have a general muscular knowledge. And then we're going to get into what do those muscles do and all that kind of stuff. So this will not, don't panic. I do want you to learn this stuff, but what I'm about to present to you will not be the last time I present it to you. And there is a list of what I'm about to present to you in yesterday's lecture. If you go into Canvas yesterday's lecture, you can download this list. So what we want to talk about first is your calf muscles. And these are the muscles that are the back of your leg, right? And there's actually 3 calf muscles. The gastrocnemius, the soleus, and the plantaris. By the way, you're going to learn something. Most muscles are named in Latin. And so they sound like you were in a Harry Potter movie the entire time you say them. And so if you feel like you're saying things like gastrocnemius, that's actually correct. Okay? Lots of the muscles sound like that because they are in Latin. And so is Harry Potter's spells, apparently. Anyway, so if you feel silly saying them, I get that. I get that. You're also going to spend a lot of time, because I believe in training, not teaching, with me calling on you and saying stuff like, what are the 3 calf muscles? I don't care if you're looking at your notes. I'm glad you have notes. That's fantastic. I'm trying to make you say them. And say them again and again and again. So these are the calf muscles, the gastrocnemius, the soleus, and the plantaris. Yes, gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris. And you might want to write those down. It might make your life a little easier. Because I'm going to stop presenting here for a second. There we go, just so I can see everybody. Cool. So if I called on Miss Carrillo, which I'm doing right now, and I said, Miss Carrillo, what are the 3 calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, plantaris, or plantaris.
Pretty good.
Plantaris.
So gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris. Yeah. And if I called on Miss Dubose and said, what are the 3 calf muscles? She would unmute herself and say, are you there, Miss Dubose? I will assume you're in the bathroom for a couple of minutes before I mark you absent. All right, let's see. Mr. Craven, what are the 3 calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Beautiful, thank you. The other reason I'm calling you guys too is it's just getting you used to public speaking, because you're going to be talking to your clients all the time, right? And it does feel really awkward, absolutely. Mr. Manzanares.
Yeah.
Mr. Manzanares, what are the 3 calf muscles, sir?
Gastrocnemius and that's about it. I don't remember.
So gastrocnemius, soleus. Did you say soleus?
Soleus.
And plantaris.
Plantaris.
Yeah. So what are the 3 calf muscles? Gastrocnemius. Sir?
Yes. Sorry, I'm just.
It's okay, but can you say gastrocnemius?
Gastrocnemius.
Cool. Soleus? Can
Soleus.
Thank you. And plantaris?
Plantaris.
Yes. Gastrocnemius soleus plantaris. What are the three calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Thank you very much, sir. It's been a pleasure. By the way, just so you all know, I'm never trying to hound you, but it's my job to get you there, right? So you'll also notice that when you mess stuff up, I don't care at all. I'm just training, right? We expect you to mess up, but I'll ask you that question again and again. I'll ask you the next day. I kind of remember what you've missed, things like that. It's all out of love. Miss Deng, I can say I'm with you too. It's totally. By the way, if English is your second language, I have no problem hand-holding you through the whole thing. So the three calf muscles.
Gastrocnemius and soleus plantaris.
That was great. Gastrocnemius soleus plantaris.
Thank you.
I love that. Yes. Mr. Singletary, I heard you whispering them over there. What are they? What are the three calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Gastrocnemius soleus and plantaris. Thank you very much. Mr. Jones, what are the three calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Thank you very much. Miss Abelos, what are the three calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, plantaris.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Miss Eversole, what are the three calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Awesome, thank you. Miss Young, what are the three calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Those are good. Mr. Snell, what are the three calf muscles? You there, Mr. Snell?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Oh, cool.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. You're good. What are the three calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Beautiful. I love it. Mr. Godot?
Yes.
What are the three calf muscles, sir?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Miss Everson?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Yeah, gastrocnemius soleus plantaris. Miss Green?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Beautiful. Mr. Ma? Good sir. What are the
Gastrocnemius, soleus, plantaris.
Beautiful. Thank you, thank you. Mr. Lee? Mr. Leo Lee? You there? Mrs. Lee, are you there? And one last shout out for Miss DeBose. Miss DeBose, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Oh, you're there, Mr. Lee!
Yes,
Aha!
yes,
Good.
yes. I got the computer, but I don't know my daughter's
No.
set up.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine. We're good. Mr.
Okay.
Lee, what are the three calf muscles?
Let me try and gastrocnemius, soleus,
Yeah,
plantaris.
that was beautiful. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Boom.
Thank you.
Is Mrs. Lee there? She better be.
Yes.
Good. Miss Lee, what are the three calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius,
Gastrocnemius.
soleus, plantaris.
That was beautiful. Gastrocnemius soleus plantaris. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome. All right. Hey, everybody, just so you know, if I call on you several times though and I can't get a hold of you, I have to mark you absent. Not for the whole class, but I just start to go, hey, you're not, because I have to verify you're here. So letting you know, really doesn't matter because you're all here that it's hearing me say this right now, but I just want to let you know, if I ever send you an email like, hey, sorry, because you will fall asleep one day or you will try to cheat the system, you're human, I would too. You'd be like, it's a great day for a bike ride. I'll get away with it. And then I call on you. So anyway, all right, so that was the three calf muscles. We will talk about them a lot, but let's move on. So, three calf muscles. And if we go up the back of the leg, we were just in the calves. If we go up the back of the leg to the back of your thigh, which is actually called the posterior femoral region, but it's the back of your thigh, you have 3 hamstrings. The 3 hamstrings are called biceps femoris, and these are hard, semimembranosus and semitendinosus. So you've got biceps femoris, semimembranosus, and semitendinosus. And I forgot your last name. I'm sorry. Pugh. Thank you, Mr. Pugh. Sorry. I wanted to call on you. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm used to having the suffering. Okay. So biceps femoris, semimembranosus, semitendinosus are the 3 hamstrings. And Miss Pugh, you don't even have to sign there. You just tell me right here. What are the 3 hamstrings?
Biceps femoris, semimembranous, and semitendinosus.
Yeah, semimembranosus.
Membranous.
Beautiful, though. So biceps femoris, semimembranosus, semitendinosus. Love it. Okay. That's good stuff. Obviously, by the way, the names aren't the only important part. We really have to learn what they do and how to find them and how to rub them and all that stuff. But this is a start. This is, day 1 of that. Day 2 of the class, day 1 of that. Okay. So, Mr. Richards, what are the 3 hamstring muscles?
They are biceps femoris, semimembranosus, and semitendinosus. Can't say it.
I love it. Awesome. By the way, get used to laughing at yourself because we'll be doing this, yes. You'll catch me messing them up too. So biceps femoris, semimembranosus.
I knew I should have watched Harry Potter more.
I know, I told you. Yeah.
Biceps femoris, semimembranosus, and semitendinosus.
That was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. Yes. Hey, what do you suppose bi means? The root bi means. Yes. Somebody just said 2 in the classroom here. Means 2, like a bicycle. 2 wheels, bi. And seps, by the way, C-E-P-S, means heads. So biceps femoris is a 2-headed muscle on your femur, which is your thigh bone. That's what it means. I will, by the way, explain nothing I'm telling you today you will not hear me tell you 10 more times. I just throw in little tidbits for those of you that like to take notes and suck up every last bit of information you can. So biceps femoris, and by the way, when we think biceps, we think of biceps up here, right? This is your bicep up here. This is a 2-headed muscle too, but this is called biceps brachii. We just shorten it in the gym. We're like, oh, I'm working my bis. But actually, you've got bis here and you've got bis in the back of your leg. One's biceps femoris, these are biceps brachii up here. But it means 2-headed muscle. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Ms. Rader, what are the 3 hamstring muscles?
Biceps femoris, semimembranosus, and semitendinosus.
And because I know you're taking notes, because you pay attention to detail like that, that was perfect. What are the 3 calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, plantaris.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Mr. Craven, what are the 3 hamstrings?
We got the biceps femoris, we got the semimembranosus, and the semitendinosus.
Could not have said it better myself. That was absolutely perfect. What were the 3 calf muscles again?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Cool. I love that. Okay. It's almost the back of the whole leg.
Well, you know what? I think at least helps me. This might help other people too. Is I actually sat down and and you can see it. You can I wrote out the sound that it makes, kind of.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea. Writing out the sound it makes is brilliant. Some people also draw pictures of the part of the body it's on. I'll tell you the other thing. It's my favorite massage joke, by the way. But this is the class where we want you to touch yourself during class. And it's very helpful to literally be like, hit your hamstrings and be like biceps femoris, semimembranosus, semitendinosus, hit your calves, touch them, squeeze them. If I'm talking about my biceps brachii, I actually touch it. It builds pathways in your brain. So all that kind of stuff, please do. Please touch the muscles we are talking about. On yourself, not on a stranger. Okay, because that's, you'll go to jail. Okay. Cool. Ms. Savarino. What are the 3 hamstring muscles?
Biceps femoris, semimembranosus, and semitendinosus.
Wow, what are the 3 calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Beautiful. I love it. Cool, thank you. Yeah. Ms. Stevens.
Yes.
What are the 3 hamstring muscles?
Biceps femoris, semimembranosus, and semitendinosus.
Beautiful. What are the 3 calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you. Mr. Manzanares. Hi. Mr. Manzanares, what are the 3 hamstring muscles?
It's bicep femoris, semimembrosus, and
Not bad. And semitendinosus.
tendinous.
Yeah. So, biceps femoris, semimembranosus, and semitendinosus. Can you say them again?
Bicep femoris, semimembrosus, and semitendinous.
Yeah, tendinosis. You're doing good, though. Can you say it one more time?
Bicep femoris, semimembrosus, and semitendinous.
Tendinosis. Yeah. So what were they, sir? Just to make sure we got them.
Tendinosus.
Cool. Tendinosis. So what were? That was perfect. What are all 3 again?
Bicep femoris.
That's 1.
Bicep femoris, semimembrosus, and semimembrosus and semitendinous.
Yeah, tendinosis. We'll leave it there. Good. Thank you, sir. Hey, Mr. Thornton. Hello, sir. Mr. Thornton.
Yes.
What are the 3 calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Beautiful. And what are the 3 hamstrings?
Biceps femoris, I don't know how to say that word. Membranosus.
That's perfect.
And semitendinosus.
That was actually perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
It was great. All right, everybody. Let's throw some other stuff out there. Well, I stopped with 6 muscles. By the way, we will not be doing 100 muscles today. We're just working our way up. If I keep going up the back of my legs, so we started with the 3 calf muscles, which was the gastrocnemius, the soleus, and the plantaris. Then we excitedly kept crawling up the posterior leg region to the posterior femoral region. We were on the back of the thigh, and we got the semimembranosus, semitendinosus, and biceps femoris. If we keep going back up the back of the leg, we're on the bottom. Right? We don't call it the bottom in massage. We call it the gluteal region. But we're on the butt, and it's made up, your bottom and your hips are essentially made up of 3 muscles. And those are the gluteal muscles. And you've got a gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus. It literally means the really big gluteal muscle, the medium gluteal muscle, and the teeny weeny gluteal muscle. That's what it means. Gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, gluteus minimus. Yeah? Gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, gluteus minimus. Yes.
Gluteus maximus, gluteus
exactly right. For those who couldn't hear her, she said it perfectly, by the way. She said gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, and gluteus minimus. And then she said in your face. And I think she was talking to you guys. I don't want to start stuff here. I'm just saying she was pretty aggressive. Okay. Ms. Q, what are the 3 gluteal muscles?
Gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, and gluteus minimus.
Beautiful. Mr. Singletary, what are the 3 gluteal muscles?
Maximus, medius, and minimus.
Max, medius, minimus, what?
Gluteal.
It's gluteus.
Gluteus.
So what were they again, sir?
Gluteus. Maximus, gluteus, minimus, gluteus. Slow it down. Gluteus maximus, gluteus minimus, gluteus medius.
Beautiful. You got it. You got it. Thank you, sir. Okay. So, wow. All right. So that kind of puts us at 9 muscles. Yeah? Miss Rader, what are the 3 gluteal muscles?
Gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, gluteus minimus.
Yeah. By the way, you all are sitting on your gluteus, not all of you, some of you are lounging, which is totally fine. But most of you are sitting on your gluteus maximus right now. Your gluteus medius and minimus is more like your hips, more the sides of your body, just in case you care. Okay, I'm sorry, Ms. Rader, and what were the 3 hamstrings?
Hamstrings are biceps femoris, semimembranosus, semitendinosus.
Beautiful. And what were the 3 calf muscles since you're on a roll?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, plantaris.
Yes. Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Was Miss Rader correct in everything she said?
Yes, I believe so.
I think so too. What did she say?
She said gastrocnemius, soleus, plantaris, and then gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus.
Beautiful. And what are the 3 hamstrings, sir?
They are bicep femoris, semimembranosus, and semitendinosus.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Miss Abelos? Hello. Of course, I'm going to ask you, what are the 3 gluteal muscles?
Gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, and gluteus minimus.
Cool. And since I have you on the line anyway, what are the 3 hamstrings?
Bicep femoris, semimembranosus, and semitendinosus.
Beautiful. And what are the 3 calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. That's really good. Mr. Ma. Hi.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ma, what are the 3 gluteal muscles?
Yeah. Just now when you showed the pictures, I didn't catch that picture, so this is the only muscles I cannot read out.
Hold on. That is a legitimate complaint or legitimate request or whatever. So hold on. Here you go. So the 3 gluteal muscles are.
Gluteus maximus.
Yeah, you said gluteus perfect. Gluteus maximus.
Maximus.
Yeah.
Gluteus maximus.
Yes.
Gluteus medius.
Yes.
Gluteus minimus.
Gluteus minimus. Awesome.
Minimus.
That was beautiful. No, that was beautiful, sir. You're doing great. You are doing great. What are the 3 hamstrings?
Oh, that is biceps femoris.
Yep.
Semimembrane.
It's hard. Semimembranosus.
Semimembranosus.
Yeah, beautiful.
Semitendinosus.
Semitendinosus. That's beautiful, sir. A little bit more beauty I need in my life, though. So, what are the 3 calves?
It's gastrocnemius, soleus, plantaris.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Really impressive. Yeah. Yeah, Latin's hard if you're coming from an Asian, from the East, because it's got a lot of stuff. If you're Hispanic and you speak Spanish, Latin's very easy because it's a Romance language. And that's where it got all of its stuff from, is from Latin. So it's kind of cool. And by the way, he said he said biceps femoris. That is actually not incorrect. So I say femoris. It's tomato. It literally is a difference. So some people say femoris instead of femoris. That is a legitimate thing. Yeah. Which is why I didn't correct it at all. Cool. Miss DeBose, are you there? I saw you pop on.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to my computer. It stopped working, so I have to join on my phone.
Oh, okay. Well, then you probably did not see all the muscles I just did, huh?
No, I saw the very first one. So it was the gastrocnemius, the soleus, and I think it started with a P. I can't remember.
Yeah, plantaris.
Yeah. So I saw those. So I didn't see the second set of muscles or the ones that she just went over.
Oh my gosh. Well, that breaks my heart. All right. I mean that. Hold on. Can you see my screen? Miss DeVos, can you see my screen? Can you see those
No,
muscles?
it just says that you're it says you're presenting, and then I see a picture of your face.
Oh. But you can't see what I'm presenting. You can't click on the presentation, huh?
Well, I can't actually see what you're presenting, though. No.
All right. Don't worry. Oh, yes, Miss Carrillo. Do you have a suggestion?
She knows. I think she knows where I'm at. If she wants to come look at my screen, she can.
That's
but I
good.
don't know where she's at.
That's a
just
thought.
a suggestion.
Yeah, I'll come back right now.
I love it.
Okay.
Thank you. I love teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay, we'll get back to you, Miss DeVos. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we strangely have 3 calf muscles, 3 hamstring muscles, 3 gluteal muscles as we kind of work up the backside of the leg, right? Is that right, Miss Dimitruk? Yeah, do you agree with that?
That is correct for major muscle groups. I mean, there's more.
Oh yeah, she's right actually, sorry. And you're absolutely right, it wasn't meant to be a trick question. For what we know right now, it's correct. I love that. Just to refresh my memory, because at my age I forget very easily, what were those, the 3 calf muscles, the 3 hamstring muscles, and the 3 gluteal muscles?
The calf muscles are gastrocnemius, the soleus, and plantaris.
Yes.
Hamstring muscles is biceps femoris, semimembranosus, semitendinosus. And the gluteal muscles are gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, and gluteus minimus.
Yeah, I love the way you sounded those out. That was really good. Thank you. No, I'm serious. I mean that. It's actually helpful to other students if you're like membranosus, because we're listening and trying to make this automatic. Miss Hendrickson, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I was just trying to follow along in the book, the Trail Guide to the Body, to look at these, and I don't see the tendinosis on the book. Is there a different name for it also?
No, that's not it. It's probably that you can't see it from that view.
Oh, because this is the back of, well, there's 2. These are both the back of the body. But
Yeah.
I don't see it.
So
I
what I
can see
mean,
all the other ones.
what I mean by that, I'm not looking at that exact picture, but the semitendinosus and semimembranosus are very close to one another, and it can actually, one can cover the other. And so you can't see it, but it's there.
Oh, it's like might be under another one?
Yes,
Sorry,
it's
for a
right.
second.
It's often covered up by parts of the semimembranosus.
Oh, okay. So underneath the semimembranosus?
Yes, so you will notice kind of towards the inner thigh, we call it the medial part of the leg. That's where the semimembranosus and semitendinosus live. The biceps femoris is on the lateral side of the leg, the outside of the leg. All in the back.
Okay, I see the biceps femoris. Okay.
So, but the semitendinosus is there, I promise. Yeah, I promise. But I hear what you're saying. Miss Eversole, yes.
Sorry, I was going to ask what page that was on, but I just found it.
Oh, good. Yeah. And by the way, guys, I am skipping around the book right now. We're going to go through the book essentially in order, the trail guide. Don't worry. But I am just giving you some memorization stuff, right? There is some of this class you have to memorize, and that's muscle stuff. And so I'm just trying to get you accustomed to saying muscular names, things like that. Yeah. So we actually have gone through multiple chapters because we're talking about multiple areas of the body. like to do one last set. Let me show you one last set of muscles. So we've got up the back of the leg. We went up the calves. Yeah? Then we went up the back of the thighs. Then we got to your bum, right? We're going to go back up the spine. My spine here has muscles running up both sides of my spine. When you're working on somebody, and it looks sometimes even like their spine is a little bit sunken sometimes, their spine is not sunk. Those are big muscles on the side of their spine that make it look like it's sunk. And by the way, some people don't have that look too, and that's completely normal too. But sometimes like on bodybuilders, it really looks like their spine is sunk because they've got so much meat on their spinal erectors. This is called your erector spinae group, which means spinal erectors. They help keep me erect standing up. They're kind of important. But let me show you what they are. There's 3 of them too. How convenient. By the way, this does not run for the whole body. It's not like God made everything in 3s. Or whatever you're into. But in this case, they are in 3s. So, you have a spinalis running up your spine, a longissimus running next to it up your spine, and an iliocostalis. Spinalis, longissimus, and iliocostalis. Yeah. Yes. Spinalis. Yes, longissimus. Iliocostalis. That's beautiful. You're great. Yeah, you're in the right place. I love it. Okay. So I just have to take this down because I want to be able to see your faces, but I'm going to wait for a second because I can tell Miss Hendrickson is feverishly taking notes right now. You're good? Cool. I don't mind, actually. It kind of gives me a good gauge for when to... Okay. So, Miss Hendrickson, since I was picking on you, what are the 3 erector spinae muscles, or spinal erectors? Some people call them just spinal erectors, but it means the same thing. What are the 3 erector spinae muscles that run up and down my back?
Okay, so we've got the spinalis, the longissimus, and the iliocostalis.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Miss Carrillo, what are the 3 spinal erector muscles?
Spinalis, longissimus,
Yeah.
longissimus, and iliocostalis.
Yep, iliocostalis. Beautiful.
Iliocostalis.
So what were those 3 again, ma'am? Just so I'm clear.
Spinalis,
yep.
Longissimus, iliocostalis.
Iliocostalis. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Mr. Thornton, yes, you had a question, sir?
Yeah, I just need to get those down the road and written down.
Oh, you didn't get them?
No.
Gotcha. No, that's completely fine. I don't know if this was your situation, but I'm a slow writer and a slower reader, so I get it.
No, I moved real quick. And then
you were screwing around, and that's why you need to see him again. Yeah. I'm just teasing. Here's the screen should be coming up. It says it's trying to, but it's having a really hard time. Can you see him, sir? It says it's presenting my screen, but it seems stuck. No? All right, hold on. It is stuck in the wheel of death. Shoot. Bear with me. We're having technical difficulties. Bear with me, everybody. We're having technical difficulties. Hold on.
See what y'all did?
All right. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to try to do that again.
So who's going to fill in? Who's filling in for him?
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
It's too late. You can't get a new teacher. Hold on. It's just my computer sometimes chokes on stuff like this. Let's see. It doesn't like muscular anatomy for some reason. Let's try again. So we'll try one last time.
Mr. Cradle's going to take over.
Oh, I believe that. Okay. Mr. Thornton, can you see that, sir?
Yeah, I got him. Thank you.
Cool. So that's the spinalis, the longissimus, and the iliocostalis. So, sir, while you're writing them down, what are the 3 erector spinae muscles?
Wait, say that again?
What are these 3 muscles in front of you, the 3 erector spinae muscles?
Spinalis, longissimus, and cossalis.
That was actually
Iliocostalis.
Yeah, costalis. Costalis.
Costalis.
Yeah. So iliocostalis. It's all right. They're not easy.
Iliocostalis.
Iliocostalis. That's a hard one. Yeah. Iliocostalis. Yeah. Cool. All right. I'll give you a second to write those down too. Yeah. Mr. Richards, while we're waiting, sir, what are the three erector spinae muscles?
Spinalius, longissimus, and iliocostalis.
That was actually pretty good. Spinalis, longissimus, iliocostalis.
I even wrote them down like
Yeah.
Said.
Yeah.
And it still didn't say it right.
I mean, it's a new language. You're literally learning Latin. So what were they again, though, sir?
They are spinalius,
Spinalis.
longissimus, and iliocostalis.
Costalis.
There you go.
Iliocostalis. You're not teaching me. I'm teaching you. So say iliocostalis with me.
Iliocostalis.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. By the way, you are teaching me, but not this part. I love it. There you go. Good job, Mr. Tapscott. Thank you. All right. Awesome. Okay. All right. Wow, I like your background, Miss Pugh. It's weird because you're in my class and I don't see the trees behind you. Miss Pugh, can you loudly tell me what the three erector spinae muscles are?
Spinalis, longissimus, iliocostalis.
That was perfect. Spinalis, longissimus, iliocostalis. Good. Awesome. Miss DeBose, are you now in front of a screen? With Miss Carrillo? Yeah, kind of? No, she's not there yet? Okay. All right. We'll figure that out. You're running? All right. It's okay. We'll come back to you. Don't worry. We'll work it out. Yeah, so what are they?
The spinalis, longissimus, and okay, that one.
Spinalis is correct. So spinalis, let's do longissimus first. Longissimus?
Okay. Longissimus.
Yep. And iliocostalis.
Iliocostalis.
Beautiful. So what were those again?
Spinalis, longissimus, and iliocostalis.
That was perfect. That was so perfect, though. I want you to remember them perfect just like that. So say them one more time.
Spinalis, longissimus, and iliocostalis.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. Mr. Lee? Mr. Lee? I know you're there. Can't hide. Hi, Mr. Lee!
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee, what are the three erector spinae muscles? The spinalis, longissimus, iliocostalis.
I missed this part. My earphone died. I messed up.
The old earphone died, eh?
I took a picture. I studied later.
Yeah.
Three bones. The name already.
Well, that's fine. But can you see the screen that I'm presenting right now?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
So now we can say it together. The spinalis, longissimus, iliocostalis. So spinalis, longissimus. That's beautiful. Iliocostalis. Mr. Lee, I'm impressed, sir. That was really good. Can you say them again? One more time?
No, I cannot. I'll follow you again.
You can say them again. Come on. One more time.
Follow you again. Please.
So spinalis, longissimus, iliocostalis. Say them.
Oh, too fast. I cannot follow that fast. I'm older man.
No, you don't have to talk that fast. You just have to say them slowly again. Spinalis, longissimus, iliocostalis. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Feisty. Awesome. Okay, we have time to call on one last person. Miss Everson. Hi.
It's charging. It does not let the mouse click things.
That's all right. You're doing just fine. What are the three erector spinae muscles?
The spinalis, the longissimus, and the iliocostalis.
Iliocostalis. That was good, though. So what was the last one again?
Iliocostalis.
Thank you. That's fantastic. Hey, what were the three gluteal muscles, too?
The gluteus maximus, the gluteus medius, and the gluteus minimus.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. What were the three hamstring muscles?
The bicep femoris, semimembranosus, and the semitendinosus.
Absolutely perfect. Thank you. What are the three calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Awesome. Really good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to mute you, Mr. Lee, but I'm glad that you're studying. That's fantastic. Okay, everybody. I'm going to release your homework for tonight. So I'll tell you what it is too, just so you're kind of aware. Let's see. I don't think it's a lot. Bear with me 1 second. My computer has to load it up here. And yes, do we have a question, Mr. Singletary? Yes, sir. What's your question? Yeah. From here? Yes. You've got time. Okay. You'll make it. I promise. I'll write you a hall pass. You can't leave my class. Don't you dare. All right, hold on. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So you have two homework assignments. One is a test on chapter 3. And the other one is an end of chapter test, kind of like what you guys did last night on chapter 7, which is the mechanics of massage. It will make sense when you look at it. Hold on. I will get them out there so you can see these things. They are due tomorrow morning. August 4th, boom. And yes, Miss Clayton, please talk to me.
You said a test on chapter 3, didn't we do that yesterday?
No, that was... That's an excellent question, by the way. Thank you for asking it. So what you did was like a test for knowledge, and you're absolutely right. I guess you would call it a test. A test for knowledge. Check that you've read the chapter, kind of, right? It was the end of chapter questions. Maybe it's a quiz. Maybe that's a good way to look at it. And this is actually a small test on the chapter too. So the reason that we do it this way is the idea is that you've read the chapter, you've taken questions on the thing, I've lectured on the chapter, and then you take another test on it. What we're trying to make you do is just engage the material over and over again. And so yes, I guess what you could say is you took a quiz last night, the day you're taking a test on the same chapter, if that makes sense.
Yeah, got it.
And then you have another chapter thing tonight for the next chapter kind of stuff. And I do need to tell you all something really, really important. All this material that is in the book we're using right now, the massage therapy book, there will never be, I mean, we will touch on it again, but there's not like an end of program test on this. You will not have this big, you will not have a closed book test on this ever. On this book right here. It'll always be open book because it's not knowledge that is 100% necessary to be a massage therapist. At the end of the year, you will have a closed book test on this, on muscles, because you really need to know your muscular anatomy and your bones and all that kind of stuff. So just to let you know, if you're trying to store information away, those who want to take the MBLEX should pay attention to both. But you will never have a closed book test on the book we're in right now, for what it's worth. Let's see, sorry. And yes, Ms. Clayton.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. Don't be.
Do you only give us homework like each day versus like being able to read ahead?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, you mean in case you want to kind of get ahead of the thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if there was some special circumstance, I'm not against it, but yes, we normally dole it out as we go to kind of keep you focused on what we're doing at that time, yes.
Okay.
For what it's worth. Thank you. That's a good question. It really is. I'm sorry, it's taking me so long because you guys are in 3 different classes and I'm releasing your homework in each class, but you should be able to see 2 assignments in your Canvas now under assignments that weren't there before. And almost all of you should be able to see them in just a second here. Get the last one there. And by the way, we are also, you will see them all pop up here in a second. We are also at the end of class, and it's been a great class. I really appreciate you guys being here, talking out loud, laughing at yourselves, paying attention, all that stuff. I look forward to working with you for the next 8 months. I really, really do. You are welcome to get off the call right now. If you have further questions, please stay on, especially if you have questions about getting into Canvas. But please stay on, and I'll answer those questions. I'll stay here as long as we need to do that, okay? Give me 1 second here to release this last homework assignment. I'll ask for questions. To the rest of you, though, are free to go, unless you want to listen to the questions. All right. There we go. Okay. Yes, Mr. Richards. Yes, sir.
So this is going to be ready by 8 a.m., yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Hit it. Thank you. Ms. Osuna. Yes.
Were you able to look at how many points that will be at the end?
No, but there is a way for me to find out. So I will. Let me look again. I know that when I do this, I'm able to actually tell total points, and it's kind of important. I agree. I'll tell you what. I don't want to waste everybody's time, but I will get that for you.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you. It's totally legit. See you later, buddy. You got it made. And I'm sorry, Mr. Ma. Yes.
Sir, could you please tell me a thing about the homework? I didn't catch that.
Yes. So, do you know how to get into Canvas to see the homework even?
What did you say, sorry?
I'm going to share my screen with you and show you something, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, let's do this. I'm going to share my entire screen with you. Bear with me.